Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today I'm going to be doing some Halloween nails because we're getting really close to that point now. So obviously clients are going to start asking for them, so I thought it would be good timing. So I'm going to be doing a Halloween compilation video as well as this, that will have like obviously more than just one design in. But I thought today we'd do like a full set of a gel polish design. So I'm trying to incorporate a few different methods of different things in this set. So we're going to be doing like pigment ombre again. We're going to be doing full coverage glitter. We're going to be doing glitter fades. We're going to be doing stamping. We're going to be doing hand painting. So we've got all sorts of different things going on in this video. So what I'm going to be using first of all is, just had to actually get the things because somehow I'd managed to forget. So we're going to be using this stamping plate, which is from Born Pretty. Yeah. Celebration BPX L007. So that's this plate. We're just going to be using this little spider from this plate and that's all. And then next we're going to be using these products. So we've got Glowworm, which is from Sparkle Supplies UK. Then we've got Tears Beauty Orange. And then we've got Moira Stamping Polish. This is just plain black. We've got Peachy Nude from Gel Perfection. And also Magpie's Black Gel Paint. And that is everything we're going to need for this set. Oh, and Super Base from Gel Perfection as well. So we're going to get straight into it. First of all, I'm just going to paint the 5 nails with Peachy Nude. No, I'm not. I'm going to paint one of them full orange, but I'll paint them and then show you that. Okay, so I've done the base layer of every colour. This one, obviously, like I mentioned, is orange because I'm going to be putting the orange pigment on the top of this. This is going to be like the underneath of the full coverage glitter nail. So I'm going to get my tubby brush, which is also from Tears Beauty, and I'm just going to dab into this. I have only half cured this nail, by the way. Just so the pigment sticks better because Gel Perfection colours don't really have much of a tacky layer. So that is why I've done that. And then once I've done that, I just want to make sure basically that this orange nail is the same colour as the other ones are going to be. And then I've got like a brush that I use just mainly for pigments and dusts and stuff like that. Basically just the messy stuff, so I don't ruin it every time I use it on something like this and then want to use it on something else. So I'm just dusting off the excess. And this will just ensure that this orange nail is the exact same colour as the other ones that I want to be orange. Just going to pop the lid on that. And then I'm going to go in with Super Base from Gel Perfection. I'm really sorry if I sound a bit like nasally. I'm not really sure why, but I've not been able to stop bloody sneezing today. It's really annoying. And I can't do anything about it. I don't know what's going on, but I must be catching a cold or something, which is just great. But I have started walking. If you watch my most recent vlog, you'll know that I've started walking now in the mornings. I am still doing it. It's going really well. I'm on like day 5 now, I think. I started last Wednesday and today is Monday, so I'm doing alright. I'm still going, but obviously it's not doing me any favours going out now while the weather's really rubbish, but never mind. Anyway, so we're just going to get this now. I'm going to put the lid underneath it in the attempt to catch the excess, and I'm just going to sprinkle over Glowworm. It would help if I was actually like in the middle of the screen. Now Glowworm is quite thick, which isn't helpful obviously because it'd be easier with a thinner, like a fine glitter, but I like to make my life difficult, so I'm going in with this one. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is just go around and just pat the glitter into place and try and get it as neat as I can. But I am going to encapsulate it, so it doesn't matter totally if there's bits sticking up, because I will just, it'll either flatten down when I cap it or I will file it off when I come to buff this nail after I've capped it. So it's not 100% an issue. I'm not worried too much. I'm just going around, like making sure all the sides are not sticking out and stuff like that. I wouldn't really need to do that, but to be honest, filing these shorter nails is actually really not fun. It used to be much easier to file the tips when I was using the stiletto ones. These are quite fiddly because they're quite small. So I am trying to avoid filing like the shape at all costs. But there you go. I'm just giving it a pat all over, try and get it close to how I want, as close to how I want it, like as I can. And then once I've done that, I'm going to pop it in the lamp for 60 seconds for a full cure. And then once it comes out, we can dust off any excess. So I'm just going to pop those back in there. Once I've done that, I'm then just going to use my Magpie Beauty duster brush to dust off any excess pieces of glitter. Now I'm being quite forceful because I'd rather the glitter, if it's going to come off, I'd rather it come off in this step instead of into my layer of builder gel. So I'm just giving it a good go over, and then I'm going to get some clear builder gel and I'm going to do a coat of that over the top. Now it's really cold in my room, so my builder gel is going to be quite thick, which is going to make it a bit more difficult to work with, but it's all good. So like I mentioned, I am going to be filing over this like once it's encapsulated. So once I've put this layer of builder gel on, I will file it to make sure it's all nice and smooth, because obviously this isn't going to get every bump out unless you did it like quite thick, which I don't want to do because one, this isn't a real person, so I don't really want to waste my builder gel, and two, even if it was a real person, I don't want to make the nail super thick anyway, because I mean, I was going to say nobody likes thick nails. Obviously, there probably is people out there that do, but I just happen to not. So I wouldn't purposely make the nail super thick. You could also have, once you'd like put your base coat on, you could have literally like placed the glitter where you want it. So you've not got like glitter on glitter, if it makes sense. So you would have literally just had like one speck of glitter like next to each other instead of like layered. But yeah, it's up to you really, it's just personal preference. So once I've put like I'm sort of done that bit like my slip layer. It seems quite thick for a slip layer, which it is, but obviously I needed to get like all of the nail covered basically, so I knew that this builder gel had got between every single piece of glitter and there wasn't going to be any that was uncovered. I'm not sure if you can hear the rain, but it is literally like torrential outside. And I'm not going to lie to you, like I quite like it when I've not got to go outside in it. I'm quite enjoying just sitting and chilling to the sound of it. Although if it gets too loud, it's going to be really unhelpful because it'll be too loud for the video. So it's all well and good while it's not too bad, but there you go. Okay, so I'm just looking from all angles now. It's not going to stay in focus because I keep moving it way too much. But as you can see, it's relatively smooth. If there's any areas that are not, you can just put a little bit more builder gel there. You can always like hold it upside down as well to make sure it's all self-leveled and everything, but I'm happy with that. So I'm going to pop it in the lamp for a full cure. And then in the meantime, while that's in there, all of my nude nails are now like double coated and cured. So I'm going to take all those out and I'm going to velvet top coat them and cure them for 30 seconds. So that's what I'm going to do now off camera. Okay, I've had to let the dogs in, so you might hear them tip-tapping around, just because one of them is actually a bit scared of the rain, which is very unhelpful, but there you go, can't really do much about it, bless her. So yeah, I've velvet top coated those nails, so we're going to move on to the pigment ombre part of the video. So I'm only going to do one of these on camera, because obviously I've got 4 to do and they're all going to be the exact same, so I'm just going to quickly do this pigment ombre. Obviously if you want to see it done like slower and in more depth and stuff, I have got a video on it that is actually not really that old. I've just pretty much done it. So definitely have a look on my channel if you'd like to see like more of this. There is a dedicated video to it where we do it with some different colours and stuff, so definitely check that out if you want to. But I'm just gonna really quickly do this one. So I'm not really bothered about the blend being absolutely perfect because we are going to be doing nail art on all 4 of these nails. So it's not really like necessary for it to be perfect because this is literally just a base for the design to sort of sit on top of. That's all really. So it's not got to be perfect, but just as a base. So I'm just dusting off my brush as I bring it up because I don't want to keep piling on product like further up the nail, else it's going to be difficult to blend it out. So I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'm going to cure that for another 30 seconds because obviously we've only cured the top coat for 30 and it needs 60 as a double cure, as a full cure. So I'm going to pop this back in, and then I'm going to do the rest the exact same way as this one and then come back. So just while they're in the lamp, I'm now going to sort this nail out. So first of all, I'm going to remove the tacky layer because obviously I don't want to file the tacky layer because it'll just make my file all sticky and it won't work. So I'm just going to take that off. And then I'm going to use a file and a buffer and throw things on the floor and give the dog a heart attack by accident all at the same time. So I'm just going to use a file to go around the outside of the nail to get it nice and smooth. Obviously I'm not too bothered because again it's not a real person, but I'm just showing you what I would do if it was. Make sure it's all nice and smooth, and then I'd go over with a buffer, but I'm not going to do that because the noise literally makes me cringe so bad. I'm just going to give it a little file. Now you'd want to make sure if this was a client that you filed the whole nail. Obviously you want to make it all rough so your next coat of top coat sticks, but because this is a tip and it is on a on the background just on blue tack, it's really difficult to file, so I'm just very gently going over it, and then check it from all angles as you go as well. If you've got any bits that are sticking up or any really bumpy bits, make sure you smooth those out. So I'm just making sure it's nice and smooth-ish. Try not to get too file friendly and go through it like I have here. And then I will buff. Again, I absolutely hate this noise. You don't want to buff too much and make it mega smooth because then your top coat won't stick at all, and obviously that is not what we're trying to achieve. But once I've done that, I'm just going to dust off the excess. Make sure there's no dust on there. And then we can top coat this nail. So I'm going to do that now, just so it is done. You just get a top coat. Okay, so we're just top coating, making sure it's all nice and covered. Make it lovely and shiny again. And then that's all nice and smooth, so we can pop that in the lamp. That nail is finished. And then next I'm going to do this nail. So just get off all the excess. If you want the orange to be brighter, then you can pop another coat of velvet top coat on and do the pigment again, but like I said, it's just background, so I'm not too worried about it. So this time I'm going to be doing a glitter fade with Glowworm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of Super Base, she says, if I can find it here. I'm going to get a bit of Super Base, I'm going to pop it on my palette, and I'm just going to sprinkle some pieces of Glowworm in and then mix them together. So we're just going to mix them. Okay, and then we're just going to place on the free edge of this nail. I'm not worried about getting Glowworm on there at the moment. I just want to get some base on there for Glowworm to stick to. And then I'm just, this time I am doing what I mentioned the first time that you can do on the full nail. I am literally picking up the pieces and going to place them where I want them, because this time I'm going to be doing a fade, not a full nail, so it wouldn't really make sense to just pick up the glitter and throw it all over the nail. So I am just going to pick each piece up and place it exactly where I want it. So the free edge area, of course, I want to be nice and full coverage, because we need the free edge to be really nice and saturated with glitter for us to be able to recognise a fade. So I'm just focusing on that area first to make sure that we get as much glitter as I need there. And then as we get further up, I can stop placing quite so many pieces of glitter on. This also makes it super easy for encapsulating, because we don't want to file this nail. You can, of course, but I'd rather not, because I am likely to ruin the blend underneath as well, and also file off bits of glitter that I don't want to, and blah blah blah. So We are just placing the pieces on exactly where we want them, getting them to lay as flat as we can to prevent having to worry about that further down. So just placing them on still. This is basically just to tie these nails in, obviously, with the full glitter nail. So once I've finished placing them where I want them and creating the fade, it's pretty difficult to create a fade when you're not using any, what's it called, fine glitter. I find the types of glitters that are perfect for fades are the glitters that have like these sized pieces, or even chunky and fine mixed, like the mixed glitters. They're perfect because you can really spread out different sized pieces to create your fade. Obviously with this we've only got one size, so it's not like we can use smaller pieces as we go down the nail, so it is a little bit more tricky, but it's all good. Now we're only putting the pieces of glitter over the areas, I've just thrown my brush by accident, over the areas, like over the area of the nail that is orange, so we're not going too far down. Just enough. So I'm gonna stop soon because I always end up like proper overkill, and then I get annoyed at myself for doing it all the time. But you get the idea. I'm gonna have one more piece just over here, and then I'm leaving it like that. Okay, that is it. So just place them exactly where I want them. I'm leaving it like that. I'm going to fully cure this nail and we can move on to the others. So the other nails are going to be nail art nails, of course. So I'm going to pop a coat of, let me just dust that off, a coat of clear gel over these, because I don't want to do my, what's it called, my painting directly over the pigment, because it's not going to work very well. So we're going to just sort of encapsulate that, but not by anything really thick, just a thin layer of base coat, and then we can go over that with our design. So I'm just going to move this out the way. I'm going to base coat all three of these nails, and then we can move on to nail art. Okay, so we're going to do a spider web now on this nail. I'm just going to get the hair that's on my brush off first. So I'm using Erin Searle's brushes. I'm using the Erin's favourite brush. It is Erin's favourite, of course, and also my favourite. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So I'm just going to first of all go like upwards, and we're going to do some lines like this. So first of all, I'm going from the middle across, and then I'm going to go up here, trying to make them like a relatively similar length, which will make the next step a lot easier. And then I'm doing it again on the other side of that middle nail, that middle line. I'm really sorry if that was out of focus, I forgot to check. And then I'm doing it again. So I am just going to make each line a little bit longer. I just want it to cover the nail a bit more than that. And that'll do then. I'm just going to bring one down here as well. So once I've done that, I'm then going to go in and just create some lines. So we're going this way like that, and I'm going to do probably 3 on each line. So we're going to just go like this. Don't need a lot on your brush at all. Didn't bend that one very much. Would make more sense to use like a smaller brush at this point. You don't need like a long detailer to do these tiny lines, but I am lazy and I don't want to get another brush out, so we're gonna do it and regret it. Okay, just let me get on with it. So I'm just creating the lines on each one. And then we'll go upwards and do another one like halfway up, and then we'll do the last one at the end. So just again, halfway up, doesn't have to be perfect. Like, at the end of the day, it's a spider web. Like, I'm sure spiders don't get it perfect all the time. I mean, maybe they do. I don't really pay that much attention to spiders, but you know, this could be a learning curve for me. But basically, I'm just linking each one up to the one next to it, sort of thing. And then just giving it a slight bend and then doing it like that. It's going to bring those round. And then we're going to do one more a little bit further up from those. I actually sort of wished I'd used normal polish for this. I fell out of love with gel paint for nail art, you know. I've been doing like more detail with just everyday gel polish, and I don't know, I think I got used to how thin it is, and now the thickness of gel paint, which used to be the thing I loved about it, I actually don't like anymore. So I struggle with gel paint now, which is bizarre because that's what I've pretty much always used for nail art, but there you go. Anyway, so yeah, just carrying on doing this. It's not the most fun thing in the world. It's quite repetitive, but I think it looks quite effective. Obviously, you could always just stamp it on to make your life much easier, but I wanted to have a few different like aspects of nail art in this. So we are going to be doing a little bit of stamping, but I didn't want to stamp all of it. There we go. So that's that nail. We're going to pop that into the lamp for a full cure. And then in the meantime, while that is in the lamp, we can move on to the next nail. So this one is going to be a, what's it called again? Another web, but we're going to come from the top this time, and it's going to be smaller because we're going to have a spider dangling from it. So I don't want it to be huge because the main like feature of this nail isn't going to be the web, it's going to be the spider. So just 3 lines this time. Again, similar length to make the next bit easier. I've done this really bodged, but I don't have time to do it again, so we're going with it. I'm going to do the rest of it off camera because obviously it's the same like way to do it, and then we'll do the stamping on camera together. Okay, so we're going with the stamping now. So I'm just going to make sure that my little spider is clean. I've just popped that nail in the lamp because obviously we don't want to stamp on top of wet gel paint because it's not going to work. So I'm just going to pop some black over him. Probably should have made sure I'd got everything ready before I did that, but there you go. So just going to scrape off the excess. Again, I'm not going into too much detail about the stamping part of it because I have stamping videos already on my channel, so definitely have a look for those if you'd like more of an insight of that. But we're just going to now move this so you can see. Stamp this so he looks like he's hanging off the web. So that's that nail, and then all the other nail is going to be is a spider just on his own. Actually, I might do some bats on this nail, just to have something a little different. So I'm going to use this plate that I got from Amazon in my most recent haul from Amazon. I'm going to use these bats here. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp those onto this final nail, just as something different and to see if these plates work, because it's nice to buy nice to actually use things that I buy instead of them just sitting in my drawers like most of my nail art. So I'm just going to see, oh, they transfer really well. I'm really happy with that. I'm just going to get off any excess that I don't need, and then I'm just going to place these pretty central. So that is what they look like. I really like how that turned out actually. The bats are very effective. So this is the set that we've got so far. I have popped a layer of super base over this one to encapsulate it, and now I'm just going to top coat all of them, and then we'll see what they look like at the end. So here is the finished design. I really hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.